favourite products at the moment. So that is the luster wax, our range of luster wax. But first, let's talk about this die set here. So this is the Circle Layers die set by Jessica Scott. Now, what I really love about this die set is it gives you loads of options when it comes to making projects. We have these perfect circle cutouts. Now, obviously the die is meant to be used as an aperture die, a mask die, a layering die, where we've got these two different circular layers of circles that are going to kind of go over one another like this to create just some really intricate, detailed surfaces. But what I love about it is that you can use these die cut circles because they are perfect circles, and we've got all those different sizes, which I love because it creates liveliness in a composition when you are creating a project. So I'm going to show you how I've used them today. First, let's have a look at the luster wax. Now, the luster wax is part of our exciting new Effectz range. We have the silver, the gold, and the rose gold. So you'll see that time and time again through our Sizzix cardstock, our Sizzix colours. We've got these colours running through as a theme. So when you are creating projects, you're always going to have something at hand to create something with silver, gold and rose gold. So the colours are going to be easy to match in your projects. Now, here's how I've used these dies and the luster wax together. Now, these dies are perfect for using luster wax with because they're going to create a faux embossed surface that I'm going to be able to apply my luster wax to. Now, I'll show you what I've done. So I die cut one of these, one of the dies from there, and I've stuck it down on a sheet of black cardstock. You'll notice I've done it black on black. Now, that's just one of the layers. I'm going to show you how I die cut the other layer, but first I'm going to apply one of my adhesive sheets here. Now, these are so easy to use, and with a die like this, they take out any kind of stress or difficulty in applying the adhesive to the bottom. Because what I'm going to do now, stuck it down, just giving it a rub, getting any of the air out. So I'm going to have this on the bottom of my black sheet of card here. I'm going to bring on my Big Shot machine, and I've cut it so it goes through the Big Shot machine perfectly. I've used, let me just check which one I've used. So I've used the other layer this time. I'm going to use the one that kind of corresponds, not the same layer again, although you could use the same layer again. As I say, with this die set, you can turn it around to layer it over. You could have I don't know, 5 or 6 layers of circles to create just some really detailed pattern here. Now, I will layer this on. One thing I forgot to mention about this die is it does come with a frame that you can cut first and then stick them down onto, like I have here as well. So we've got this that's perfect size, ideal for card making. Now, I will layer up the sandwich on my Big Shot machine. And I'm going to make sure that I'm cutting it over where I've stuck the adhesive sheet on the other side. And you'll just see how easy this is now. There we are. I'm going to bring it back through. And the only reason is because I've added that extra layer of adhesive sheet. I want to make sure that I'm cutting through all of the layers. Now have a look at this. So these circles are just going to come out. And notice here, as I mentioned earlier, we've actually got all these die cut circles of different colours here. And that is actually one of my favourite things about the die. And that's not even really what it's meant for. That is a byproduct, which I just find fantastic. So I'm going to push this to one side for now. Now, here's how you use it. You're going to poke out all the little circles. Now all I need to do, rather than messing about trying to add adhesive to all these small areas here, I can just peel this off, and that is ready with a perfect even coat of adhesive for me to stick down. I'm going to stick it, just make sure that I'm, you can play about, you can have a look which way around do you like the look of. I like this. So I'm going to stick that down, and this is now ready to apply my luster wax CH2. But just look at that. If I move that around in light, you can see I love this. Even tone on tone, this is a really lovely die set to work with. Now, I've trimmed the same thing down because I want it to be slightly smaller for my make. I'm going to bring on the rest of my cardstock that I've not used here to use with the luster wax. Now, this is always a good idea because you need a sheet of scrap paper. I did prepare some scrap paper. I just realised with this make you're going to have a bit of scrap anyway. I will use the one that I prepared just so I can show some of this lovely lavender dust cardstock there. Now, applying luster wax. There's a few rules I stick by. You always apply it so get most of it off your fingertip. I apply with my fingertip, but get most of it off first. Now you can choose to build up different layers of the luster wax, but they're always going to look really nice. Now less is more when you get started. You just want to come in with a thin coat. Now with luster wax we can always add more. Just remember that when you get started because you can't take it away. Now if I'm to make a mistake with this, like let me just show you an example. If I was using my silver luster wax here and I got a big blob on my finger and then I start trying to apply it here, you can just see that it's gonna, oh no, I've got all, you know, it's really concentrated here but it's lovely and thin there. That's not what we want. We want to get a lovely thin even coating. So I'm going to cover this whole thing now. And this is just such a nice therapeutic thing to do. I'm mixing them there by mistake. No one saw that. Pete saw it because he's filming me, but I think I can convince him not to tell anyone. Shh. There we go. And just have a look at that. Now it starts to get this really kind of distressed metallic look there. I think it's particularly great when you're working with mixed media type dyes, which this one can be. But look, it's just coming to life there. It's starting to look like this could actually be, you know, an old sheet of metal that this has been cut out of. But as long as you just make sure that you don't go overboard, don't try and rush it, and just apply as much is needed at that point. So you can see there I've got a nice kind of dull silver background. Now I'm going to come in with some of my other colours. Now what I don't want to get any on this nice white table, so I'm going to use my adhesive sheet cover there to ensure I'm not messing it up. Okay, I'm going to come in with some gold just to highlight a few areas. This corner here. Oh no, I put a tiny bit on there that I didn't need, but you can just see how easy it is to go overboard with it. Just make sure you've got most of it off your fingertips before you apply. And just look at that. Now I'm going to keep it like this because I love this effect, but you could go in with more of the rose gold to add some warmth to it. You could come, you know, back with the silver to highlight it. I find that the silver, for me, is one of the best one that highlights areas because it's one of the brightest. Now, all there is to do for me with this make is finish it off. I've got my card background. I absolutely love this. I'm going to apply a little bit of express glue to the back there. And then I'm going to apply it to my thin border, just because I want that to be framed. And then I'm going to bring on my other elements. And that looks, ladies and gentlemen, like so. So all I've done there, what you'll notice about this here, these little bubbles, I've done a bubble themed card, a really lovely, elegant bubble themed card. I've used some foam tape to create some dimension in there, but these little bubbles here were also cut just using some of the smaller circular elements in this die set. So that's what I love about this die. You're really getting your value for money because you're getting these lovely layering background die cut pieces, but we're also getting the advantage of these different sized circles. So that is it from me with these two dies. I'm going to be using them many more times because, as I say, these are some of my favourite products out at the moment. If you would like some more inspiration, go to either of our Sizzix websites. So if you're in the US, that's Sizzix.com. In the UK, that's Sizzix.co.uk, or if you're in Europe. And just have a look at some of our blogs, our vlogs, just to find some inspiration on how to use these fantastic products. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.